Is happiness, health and prosperity, what we might call well-being. So, what is economic growth, and does it really matter?
For me, and from the perspective that I'm looking at things, economic growth is regarded as progress. It's considered to make life better.
Economic growth is defined quite simply as the growth in the value of marketed goods and services each financial year.
Well, economic growth is an increase in the amount of money people have to buy the sorts of things that they want to buy.
Well, economic growth runs the world. We're in a world where materialism, which is the getting of goods through the economy, is the religion of the age.
Just like religion, economic growth is many things to many people. Why does it matter? It's actually the rate of economic growth that matters. It's seen as an important indicator of improving standards of living in our society. Economic growth means that more goods and services are being produced, people are buying and selling things, so it's also likely that jobs are being created and more taxes are being paid. These may be thought of as the benefits of growth. But economic growth also has costs.
Whether it be cutting interest rates or raising interest rates, whether it be allowing certain imports or foreign investment, whether it be allowing a mine to go ahead in Kakadu National Park. They say we must have this because it'll improve our rate of growth. We can't stop our greenhouse gas emissions because it will affect our rate of economic growth. We can't spend more money on education because we can't afford it. So clearly, governments put an enormous emphasis on it. And I think it's because, as a society, we have this tremendous preoccupation, an obsession, even a fetish with material acquisition.
The word growth, which is idealised by people at the big end of town and in parliaments right around the world, is not necessarily a good thing unless you can see where it's going to. It needs to be planned, and it needs to be subservient to people being happy.
Well, some of the negative costs of growth get addressed by virtue of the market anyway. As you're richer, you might prefer to have your heating, or you would prefer to have your heating done by electricity. In other words, the pollution occurs well away from people.
Is economic growth contributing to our well-being, or is it on balance doing more harm than good? That's the big question, isn't it? It goes to the heart of macroeconomics. That is, how we organise ourselves economically. It involves government, big business, the world economy, and all of us individually. The big picture.
Many people, in fact most people, if you ask them, as surveys have, will say no, we shouldn't sacrifice everything in pursuit of growth, because a preoccupation with growth can actually make us worse off. Now that's a very powerful message, but it's one that our political leaders, our commentators, our economists mostly do not want to hear.
Governments and economists place so much store in growth figures because of this assumption that it provides a good broad indicator of progress, and one that can